You're about to hear from an actual SEOak partner who's earned over $4,400 in his first 9 months with SEOak and is currently making about $650 each and every month by reselling our white label SEO services. Hi, this is Jeff Corrett, founder of SEOak, and today we've got Garth Jordan of Jordan Creative. Is it Jordan Creative or 2556 Media?
2556 Media is my corporation. Jordan Creative is a DBA.
I got something similar going on.
Yeah.
Cool. So, we've been working together for the last, I would say 8 months or so?
Yeah, at least. Yeah, I think we're approaching a year.
Okay, yeah, I figured we were somewhere around that range.
We were dancing around before then, but yeah.
I wasn't exactly sure. Probably should have done some more due diligence here, but that's okay because we're all just doing the best we can. And so, tell me a little bit about you and kind of what led you to where you are today.
Yeah, I'm a graphic designer by trade. I studied design in San Francisco, did print design for a number of years, and then got into the internet in the late 90s and started a design firm with a couple of partners. That went for a while, and then it crashed when everything else crashed. And then kind of went off on my own and actually started Jordan Creative back in 2013. Had a stable of clients to bring into it, so it wasn't starting out from fresh or anything. And we do web design, web development, and hosting support. And then who does the SEO?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So what would you say your main business goal is today?
Grow my stable of clients with quality clients. Ones that have recurring revenue. That's my big goal. There's a couple of verticals that I want to go after. One being the wine business, and the other being real estate. And looking to grow, looking to hopefully hire an assistant to help me out, a local person. This quarter or next quarter.
Cool. All right. And so you mentioned earlier you're doing SEO with me. Yes. I know that the people listening to this are just learning that and about you and your story. So can you talk a little bit about the way that you're using SEO's offerings right now?
Sure. We don't do any SEO in-house. We do make sure when we build websites that they're as SEO ready as we know how to do. We make sure that all the tools are in place for an SEO expert to come in and do their work. We do always index the site with Google Search Console. We won't always install Google Analytics, but typically we do. So that's kind of it for us from there. We don't do any of the actual SEO. So we look for experts like you, Jeff, to help us out with that stuff.
Okay. All right. So you weren't offering SEO at all before?
Actually, I used to have an employee that did SEO. I wasn't very good as far as I know, but we have offered it out of the gate. Since we've signed up with SEOak, we've got a level of service that's a lot higher than we had before.
Cool. So when you initially reached out, was there some kind of, or I guess when you decided to pull the trigger or whatever, when we started talking about this as a potential fit for your situation, was there a specific milestone or event that triggered a need for what it is that I do differently? Yeah,
actually, that's a good question. The G3 Enterprises was the one that kind of triggered it all. They reached out to me asking, me if I could help them with SEO. So I was like, yeah, I can. So that was when I decided to engage with you.
Okay, and you didn't feel like your current SEO. Did you have the employee at that time?
No. I had to let him go a couple of months earlier, so I was kind of without SEO expertise.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what specific problems did you have that SEO? It's actually pronounced SEOak, and people mess it up and call it SEOak all the time. So don't feel bad.
No,
It's
okay.
probably my fault. I should have done some more user studies before I decided on the brand name. But
That's fine. It
but what
works out.
specific problems do you feel like SEOak solved for you?
What I like about working with SEO is it's kind of a, you know, set it and forget it sort of thing, which is nice. It's nice to know that with working with you over the last 8 months, I'm pretty confident that when I hand a client over to you that it's going to be taken care of. And I just have to do the minimal things, just make sure that they're getting their reports and make sure that, if they want to talk, that, if I need to be on the call, I can be on the call. Actually, I feel comfortable with you just making a call if you have to. It's great, and there's, you leave enough margin in there to make it worthwhile. And, I think it's working out pretty well.
I really try to have a win-win-win mentality. I want to win and make decent margins, but I realize in order for this to work, my partners have to potentially do even better than me, and that's why, especially with my second most popular plan, the sapling,
Mm-hmm.
people make $600 to $1,000 a month without having to do barely anything, if they charge what I recommend. So that's good to hear. But let's take it back to when I think you initially reached out and you said, you were interested in learning more. But you didn't know me. We had never talked before.
No, you
And
you
so,
actually, yeah, you came recommended by the 10K boot camp team that
okay.
I was involved with, and I asked around. I said, "Does anybody know any white label SEO firms that that you might trust?" And actually, several people mentioned you. So
That's good. Well, I was going to ask you what worries or objections did you face when choosing to work with SEO, but surely there was something kind of lingering there.
well, yeah, I mean the unknown factor. I mean, I
Mhm,
don't know who you are,
mhm,
and I mean, I do like the fact that you're in the U.S., which is great
mhm.
because I think overseas folks just don't understand the market.
Right.
I think it's great. I mean, in the beginning there was a little, um, because you're in Louisiana, and I don't think you've ever been to California. you know,
No, I
and
haven't.
a lot of my clients are in California, and it's sometimes you don't pronounce the city names right, or maybe you don't know the ins and outs of the business over here. But besides any of that kind of stuff, it's been fine.
Mm,
Yeah, and the margins, with the exception of the skinniest plan you have, are pretty good. I'm
mhm,
not pushing that little plan anymore.
mm.
I don't
Good
think.
to know.
Yeah, well, I mean, if somebody really doesn't want to spend a lot and they really want it, then I make sure that they understand that results are going to take a while with that plan. But we don't make a lot of money on that. Whereas the other plans, we make decent margins on those.
Yeah, I'm thinking about repositioning that smallest plan into more of a done with you. So I think as a
That
done
would be
for,
cool. That would be
because
cool.
as a
Yeah.
done for you, it's just so little action items that like. But with a done with you, we could actually use some of those action items for just strategy and
Yeah.
either lean on our white label partner to create the content or the client. And we're kind of seeing that with one of the people who are on the smaller plan right now between me and you. We're kind of seeing that happen because they're stepping up and creating the content that I kind of recommend and strategize on. And so I'm just kind of doing what's happening. So like
Mhm.
that's not me changing the plan. That's just me kind of adapting to what's actually happening. So
Well, you have to
cool.
do that. That's good.
So what alternative? So SEO wasn't the only SEO company out there when you were kind of deciding. So were there some other considerations? Maybe you thought about hiring a contractor or like another employee or maybe another white label SEO company.
I didn't look at any other white label companies. I did consider hiring somebody, but the numbers just weren't working.
Mm,
It's if you hire somebody locally around here, I don't know if you've seen what it costs to hire people in California, but
hi.
it's yeah. Yeah, I mean, just where I live here in Marin County, the minimum wage I think is 15 an hour. or 14 or something like that. So, I mean, you offer that, no, you're not going to get anybody. So, you got to at least, double the minimum wage to get any sort of quality, or more. It becomes, and then, if you hire somebody, put them on payroll, you got all the payroll expenses, workman's comp, all that stuff. And then, people expect some sort of benefits, it becomes pretty difficult. Or, I could hire another contractor, out of state. But, you never know who you're getting, and with you is, it's great because you can try your service out with a client, and if it works out well, that's great. But, if it doesn't, then you can just move on. So, fortunately it's worked out great.
Yeah. I hate the idea of having one of my partners be stuck having to pay me, if their client might have canceled for whatever reason. And so I just don't put any monthly,
no,
on my plan.
That's awesome. I mean, it would be great to get them to sign up though for more, instead of monthly, sign up for, a year, because this stuff takes time. It really does. And, that's part of the education piece that, you need to educate your clients that, that SEO is not the magic bullet that, just doesn't start right away. It takes time.
Cool. So what was the process like when we were just starting to work together right after you signed up?
It seemed pretty clear. I mean, I liked, how you got the website so you can go sign up and, and pay that way and get recurring payments going that way. At first, your site was really slow. It seems like you speeded it up a bit, which is great. You don't have to put that in the test. I know. I know the theme you're using, Divi. That can be can be kind of a slow theme sometimes. But yeah, and then with the questionnaire, it all works out well. I think the onboarding works well. Yeah, I mean,
did we do so far an ROI plan in the very beginning or no?
Did I what?
Did we do a client ROI plan for the very first plan? I can't remember.
I don't think so. And I didn't know with the the subscription plan that I'm on with you, the base subscription that I guess you get 1 or 2 ROIs a quarter or a month
and now we're doing them all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important that we show, if we can get the right data from a client, I think it's important that we show, what a good SEO program can do for them, and then they realize, oh yeah, spending 700 or 1,000 or whatever much they're spending a month makes sense.
And basically the subscription that you're talking about is one where you can basically what it is you're paying for client ROI plans in bulk, kind of in advance. So when that prospect comes to you and they want some discovery done, you don't have to shell out like the normal price. So you're basically getting a discount on a bunch of different client ROI plans. So that's basically what that is.
Okay, good.
So in case you were curious, so yeah, or anybody else out there is curious. So typically I offer people the client ROI plan as a one-time thing, but we also have the subscription plan available, which is kind of like a more modest monthly thing. And then you're just kind of covered in the event that you get a prospect coming through and looking for SEO.
Yeah. No, it makes me, feel like, I've kind of paid to get your ear, which is good.
And what did you discover about SEO after you took the plunge that surprised you?
That there's a lot more to it than just the mechanical stuff that I kind of, sort of know about. The keywords and the meta descriptions and, and making sure your pages are optimized and all that. There's a lot more to it than that, which traditionally is what I would call off page SEO. The content creation, the backlinks, all that stuff. I didn't, I kind of knew about it, but I didn't really know much about it. So I'm learning about it, which is good.
Cool. Glad to hear that. What would you say SEO's most useful benefit is?
Increasing conversions on websites. At the end of the day, that's what a website's for, right? It's got some sort of conversion, be it download something, fill out a form, or buy something. SEO is what does, which enables that. So it's really important.
Cool. Why would you recommend SEO to others?
Other people in my business or other?
I would say obviously, as a digital marketing company owner, I don't see you recommending me directly
Yeah.
to your prospective clients, but I would say to other 1 to 2 person digital marketing companies looking to outsource their SEO.
Oh, sure. If somebody asks me, who does your SEO, and we've got a relationship, I would be candid about it and say, I actually have a white label service that I use out of Louisiana that's really good, I'd also want to make sure that you're you're able to scale. If I was to send you some new digital agency clients, that you'd be able to handle it without affecting the work that you do for me.
Yeah, I think that I am set up for scale, and I've kind of started from the beginning, productizing this offer in a way that never really gets too far outside the box of what I normally do. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much unless you're planning on sending me tens of clients in like a matter of a week or two. Like, it should be just fine. But
Okay.
Yeah, cool. And what advice can you give to others who might be considering SEO?
What advice?
To someone who might be, they need SEO and they don't want to do it themselves, and they're considering SEO.
Oh yeah, well, just that I find that your stuff. You're professional. You show up on a call when you're supposed to be there. This industry is so rampant with people that are just not reliable and not responsive. And you're responsive. If I send you an email, you respond. I'll call you, you use you around. Like I said, you show up on phone calls. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. And from what I can tell, you're doing it right. So, don't take a chance. If you want somebody that's professional and responsive and has, provides results, then SEOak is the way to go.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff you just mentioned kind of gets back to our core values. Basically, over communicate. Honesty is the best policy. Do the right thing. Don't accept the status quo, and don't put short-term reward in the way of long-term gain. Yeah. And I try to live by that every day. I'm definitely not perfect, but it is something that guides a lot of my decisions with this company.
Good.
And it looks like it's paying off, and it sounds like your experience has been good so far. So
it has.
Hopefully, we can keep this thing going for a long time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So what would you say your specialty is in terms of web design and digital marketing, in terms of the types of companies you work with, or the type of work that you do specifically?
Yeah, well, we're really good at scoping out projects and getting them done right. And we don't have a lot of scope creep in our projects. And we're kind of like you. We're responsive. And we don't look for the short term benefit out of things. We look for long-term relationships with our clients. We've had some of our clients we've had for, several businesses of mine ago, so yeah.
Cool. Well, if people want to, contact you to learn more about your own service, how should they reach out to you to learn more about you?
Yeah, my website.
So that's the jrdncrtv.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. jordancreative.com. All right, Garth, really good to connect, and have a great day.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot, Jeff.
Thank you.
We'll talk soon. All right, buddy. Okay.
All right. Bye.